You're watching Experience Comic Culture and Sales, streaming live daily to Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and Twitter.
Welcome to Minute To Skim It. It's me, Liam.
Me, Shanice.
And because it is the day after Halloween, I thought it'd be fitting to dress up in a costume. We don't normally dress up in costumes. This is a outlying situation. But if you're new to our show, hi, welcome. Every week we try to read number ones that are coming out for the week and give you our honest opinions, spoiler-free, and honest reviews. And tell you if it's worth it to pick it up for the week. And tell you if it's worth starting the series. We try to keep it as concise as possible. And and if we read something that if your store does not have, there's a bunch of delays in the industry. There's a bunch of shipping issues. We can only get as much as we can, or get whatever we can in for the week. So please don't yell your LCS. Please don't yell at us. We're doing as best as we can. We're working with whatever we got. So yeah, do you want to kick it off?
Right, so I'm gonna kick it off with, let's see, I'll do As of the Barbed from Scout Comics this week. Very nice cover. So this book, I really enjoyed it. And it hits the ground running, which I wasn't sure how I really felt about that. So just going by the title, As of the Barbed, on the cover, I'm not sure if I had it close enough to the camera, but the main character, she has these markings on her body that looks like barbed wire, or it's just like barbed vines. And this essentially is a big no-no within her culture, within her society. And she's not quite banished, but she's definitely not like welcome in her home. She's not no longer. Loved. Yeah. Well, there are people who still love her, but they're
not loved in that world.
So her sister is going through a ceremony where she's also going to get her markings, and she's worried that, oh, well, I hope she doesn't have the same markings as I do, because I don't want to see my sister be treated like some sort of outcast. I won't spoil about what her sister's markings are, but it really is fascinating, like, to see in universe just like how these different markings, how they just basically tell other people like what you are. It's kind of like a caste system almost. Ooh. So I really liked it, and it went into a direction I was not expecting. That again, like it's a good first issue, but a lot of things happen all at once. The story didn't really feel like it had enough time to breathe. Mm-hmm. Like, it's still worth checking out, because I definitely want to check out issue 2 and see more of this world, and see see other different types of markings on other characters. But it's just so like bam, 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 bam. It's like, oh well, okay, guess this is happening.
This is plot.
I guess this is plot.
Yeah.
But the artwork is absolutely gorgeous, and I love the actual character designs in this issue. Mm-hmm. I definitely do recommend it. Just as a heads up, it hits the ground running, so the pacing could be just a little bit better. But other than that, I dug it.
Well, that's good. Well, that's actually very similar to this. The Argus, number 1. It's very much like it hits the ground running. Like, there's no breathing room between the beginning and the end of the story. There's no time to like comprehend what's happening. It's just consistently thrown at you. It's a really cool concept. I feel like it needs to be used more. There's like time traveling. It's a whole thing. It's not even a spoiler. It gives you like on the first page that there's like these group of future versions of this main guy that is trying to find the original version that's trying to kill everyone. Gives you that first information on like the very first or second page. And there's no room to breathe. Hello. And there's just no room to like, what's going on? How did we get here? Why is this happening? It wasn't bad. If it gave me more breathing room, I feel like it would have been, I don't know, more enjoyable. It was a very entertaining concept, though. I want that concept to be shown more, if I'm being honest.
Thank you.
Sweet. And so, it's very much like a understanding how cross timelines work is nice to know. It's very interesting, I guess. I can't say much because it'll spoil like the entire thing. But I recommend picking it up, especially if you like the whole, I guess, like the movie version of Cable, where he's going back in time to fix everything. In the meantime, it's kind of, there's a ruined timeline already existing. I feel like it's really interesting if you do like that kind of concept. I may pick it up as a trade eventually, if it does ever come out as a trade. But I feel like the last couple of weeks for SourcePoint, they have been killing it on the releases. This one's really good. I feel like it's going to definitely take off in our store specifically, because everybody who comes in and buys stuff for me, at least, they love that kind of like plot line. And I'm like, okay, go ahead. I will legitimately recommend it. So yeah, if you like the kind of timeline sort of thing with a singular person, pick it up. It's very interesting the way that they tie in like numbers with how each person is named. I thought it was very interesting. So, what's next for you?
Next for me, let's see. I'll go with the Scout comic. Might as well just continue to the theme. It's the West Moon Chronicle, #1. And again, like with Scout, what I truly enjoy about Scout comics, it's like, okay, you read what the actual synopsis is for their books, and you're just like, oh, okay, cool, this sounds interesting, and then you're reading, it's like, oh, this is going in a way that in a direction I wasn't
not what I expected.
Right. And that's not a bad thing. It's very, very good. So Western Chronicles, what I like about it, it takes place in East Texas. Which, again,
nice.
I've said this before, I'm a sucker for anything that takes place in the South, especially takes place in Texas, because, you don't really get to see that. Yeah. So, it takes place in East Texas. So, the main character, he's definitely has, so he has like his demons and his ghosts. He's went through some things, and his grandson, pays him a visit with an acquaintance of his. Oh, hello. I'm just gonna keep saying hello to everyone.
Hello, everyone.
hello. So his grandson pays him a visit, and he's like, "Hey, Granddad, I'm in a tight spot. Yes, gotta sell the house to get some extra cash." Yeah. So Granddad's like, "Well, why didn't you tell me anything? I could have helped you. You're my grandkid." And then he's like, "Wait, something's up with your friend." Now, the comic, the genre of it, it's, see, I don't want to say like horror because something scary happens in it, but it's
like a thriller.
I don't know, like maybe like urban fantasy kind of. Well, it can't even be like urban fantasy because it takes place in the woods of East Texas. Yeah. I don't know. So like what, I guess.
I guess I don't know.
like East Texas fantasy. So with monsters, it's got monsters in it.
Like, would you compare it to the Texas Blood or no?
The Texas Blood, no. I mean, Southern fantasy, Southern Gothic. That's the only thing.
That works.
And the creature designs in this book is wonderful. You get to learn about Korean folklore,
Nice.
which is really dope. And again, nothing that I was not expecting to read that in a book that takes place in East Texas, like deep in the sticks of East Texas.
Oh, wow.
So yeah, exactly. It's very, very unique. And that's what I love about it. Like, this is a book that honestly, truly, if I hadn't have read it for Minute To Skim It, I love the cover, but I truly think I would have I would have missed it for like new comic book day. And Jenna brought something delicious. So
you want to show it off to the class?
You
can open it. I made it look all pretty on the top.
I'm worried I'm going to spill it. I'm going to keep it like this. Thank you. While Jenna appears, yes. So yes, if you're into what is it? It is chicken and rice casserole.
Yes.
Yeah.
Live. Hold on. Hello.
Hybrid. I'm so excited to read it. So read it.
It's so good.
Chicken and rice. I know,
The
right?
plot
It's
is
great
beautiful.
read.
So Westwood Chronicle, 10 out of 10. This book has brought me good luck already by bringing me food. So,
oh wait, there's more.
Oh my god.
but it's Liam's story.
Yeah. So then I guess I'm gonna just knock out Vampirilla versus Red Sonja. Coffee.
Caramel coffee.
I'll hold it up for you.
I'm not gonna drink it right now because I'll spill it. I know literally nothing about Vampirilla versus Red Sonja or anything about either of those characters. I say, as my roommate reads both of those, and everybody else in the store does too. I'm the one that's like, meh. Honestly,
I gotta start somewhere.
Right.
yeah, this was honestly pretty good without me knowing anything. This is great from your own read and
Oh my
oh my
gosh.
gosh. But not knowing anything about either of those characters, literally, I know nothing. I am blind. I thought it was pretty good. It's only on the bottom shelf. I tier it by like how much I enjoyed it. It's only on the bottom because I know nothing, and they make callbacks to both of their series, and I know nothing about their series. But knowing nothing, I thought it was pretty enjoyable. I feel like I would need more context to enjoy it a bit more. But that's the only reason why it's on the bottom, because I don't know anything about either of the characters, which I felt like it was fine. And the one thing that I do love about Dynamite is that they always tie in their own publishing name in some way. Like one of the main characters, her name is Dynamite. And their whole team is Dynamite. And I love it. So if you love the Vampirilla and Red Sonja series, really, it's not even a versus, if I'm being honest. They team up. I don't know why it's a versus, but I feel like it's a pretty decent team up, and it's definitely making fun of its own genre for like heroes, which I love. I love that. That's my favorite thing. So yes, pick it up if you like those two characters, because you will find it very entertaining.
It's just out of curiosity for those watching who are fans of the characters. Are there any recommendations y'all would have for people who want to get into Red Sonja?
Because I do, I really do. But all my roommate picks up is Samurai Red Sonja, so I have no good starting point there.
Because there's one I read that was Red Sonja related. Oh, thank you. You have a good night as well. But again, I definitely do want to read more about the character, especially for a film coming out. So next up is going to be Tiger Division. Jake has strong opinions. Yes, he does.
Have strong opinions. I've had conversations.
So Tiger Division. These are fairly new characters. With the exception of one or two, they've been around for a while now. So it's a predominantly Korean superhero team, which is really, really cool. And I really liked it. It's one of the few times like recently where I've read a team superhero book where I genuinely enjoy every single character, and I want to see more of these characters.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, so it's fun because it has such a fun dynamic, and this is the first issue, and I know this kind of spun off from another series, if I have it right, featuring this character in the blue and white. Yeah, it was such a fun book. Like it was a fun just comic book where they just team up and just fight and save people. And it's great. Like, and I
like a typical hero story,
right.
in a good way. Yeah.
It's just it's something that you just need to read like from time to time. It's like
it's good to have like that breather of just like everything that's going on. Just have a typical superhero story.
Right.
Yeah.
And there's like a pretty heavy scene, but like it's just so gosh darn fun. I really liked it a lot.
Cats.
And
Cats.
And yeah, so if you just want to read just a fun superhero team up book, I really do recommend it. And the covers, if y'all have time after or during our show or after our show, please look up the variants because they're just gorgeous. Especially art. They're even the A cover is so nice.
Yeah. Then I guess I'm just gonna knock out the bottom row because the two on the bottom, I don't read these series and I know nothing, and I don't read Zenescope. It's not because I don't want to. It's because I just don't. It's the art style is not really my thing.
So it did kind of turn into Loki and Valkyrie Day. I guess I got Valkyrie's hair.
It works.
It works.
It works. But because I don't know anything about the Zenescope series or like any of the Zenescope characters, I felt like it was kind of lost. Jenna loves Zenescope. She will push Zenescope at me as much as humanly possible. Same with most people in the store who read it. It's just not my thing. I'll put up like pinups of different characters in my room or something. But reading about it, whole different breed, I guess.
I'm just picturing. Well, I feel like if I turn around, you just see Jenna just like staring at them.
Jenna, good review. If I knew, like, it's a trend with the bottom two is that if I knew more about the characters, I feel like I would enjoy it more. But they make references and tiebacks to other series that the characters are in, and because I don't know anything about them, it was hard for me to read. I feel like if you are reading. Hello. If you are reading the Wizard of Oz-esque of the Zenescope series, because I know there's been one that's been going on for a couple of years, pick it up if you have been reading those series, just because I'm lost and I don't literally know anything about any of the Zenescope characters. Is it next? Yeah, essentially. There it is.
Hi.
I'm talking about Zenescope.
I don't know if she can hear us. She's okay. The glass is thin.
It is. But yeah, because I don't know anything, that's all I can say on it. The art in it is gorgeous. I felt like it was a pretty good balance. They do give a very random backstory on the Cowardly Lion. That because I haven't been reading it, I don't know. But like I said, pick it up if you've been reading the Zenescope series for a while. You'll understand what's going on more so than I do. So
yeah, for sure. Like with Zenescope, so like Jenna, she got me in Zenescope.
Yeah,
like, I sound so exhausted saying that.
She got a lot of people into a lot of stuff.
And with Zenescope, the thing that surprised me is just how just interconnected everything is and how far back it
goes deep,
right? And it's a series of books that it's not super new reader friendly, but it's still there are some good jumping on points. We just gotta figure out what they are.
I feel like a lot of the one-offs to get you understanding the characters in general, I feel like is a good start. And then understanding those characters, and you can jump in a little bit easier into the rest of their series. Because I haven't read any of their one-offs, I know nothing about any of their characters.
Yeah, because they have cool characters. It's just where do I start? And then you have a coworker. He's
here is this.
Let's see. So next up, sorry, are you?
No, I'm done.
Okay. Next up is gonna be Guardians of the Galaxy Cosmic Rewind. So I am 99% certain this ties into the ride at Disney. It's
the Tower of Terror, right? That's going on now, yeah.
So it's a one and done. If you're like a hardcore Guardians fan, especially of the MCU versions of these characters, then by all means, please check it out.
Yeah.
But it's not bad. It's just
Very
like
campy.
not even campy. It's just like it just kind of came off as a little bit of like as advertisement for the ride, which again, you know. I don't really have any plans to go to Disney. Well, hopefully next year to go. So it's like, I don't know. It's just like, yeah, you see the Guardians, like they, mix it up and they have really funny one-liners. And there are some genuinely sweet moments, but it's not reinventing the wheel. It's just Guardians.
It's aimed at the people who've only seen the movies.
See, that sounds so gatekeepy, but it's like
I've only seen the movies, and I really have no interest in reading the comics, and that sounds really bad, but it's true.
Yeah. So basically, if you have like a little one who wants to read Guardians, like I want a Guardians of the Galaxy comic, by all means please get them this, because again, like it genuinely is a fun book. I'm not trying to sound so like bleh about it.
You don't know anything.
Yeah, it's just like, okay, I read it. It's just a fun one-off, and that's true. That's generally it. The art's great. The story's fine. It's
a Guardians book.
It's a Guardians book. That's all it is. I guess so. You know how on Disney Plus they have like the little mini one-shots like featuring Groot.
Yeah,
that's essentially it. Just that's what it felt like.
Makes sense. Then I guess the whole behemoth. I feel like it's a pretty cool concept. It's only on the second tier because I don't know if I may continue reading it. These two are definitely, I might wait until a trade comes out so I can read it all at once. But it's really honestly a cool concept. This like his brother dies with the same name as me. It's very strange. Reading Liam in it is a great song. Yeah. But like reading anything that has my name on it and then has death attached, I'm like, okay, cool. I guess everything that has my name now dies. That's great. Everything that I've read that has the name Liam in the last 2 months, that character dies every single time. I've not read a character with the name Liam that has lived.
At least your name shows up.
Yeah, I mean that's all I care about.
Yeah, that's all you care.
But it's a good, like honestly, it's a really good series. If you like I guess what season 1 of Stranger Things did, where it was tying in a little bit to the Upside Down, it does it really well in this. I appreciate that in certain comics, depending on how it's portrayed, and it does really well in this. Like this dude works for police. You don't find that out until like I guess like halfway in. It's implied in the beginning, but it's very confusing in the beginning. But it's just I can't really say anything about most of the books that are coming out this week because it'll spoil the entire thing. But genuinely, if you like the tie-ins of a fantasy world, and the main character not knowing why they're tied into this, fantastically done. The art in it is gorgeous. Like the losses of time, I feel like are going to tie in beautifully into the next couple of issues, just because of how it is. Like there's a whole lot that goes on with this plot, and that's part of the problem that I can't much because plot. And we're spoiler free, so I can't say anything when it comes to the plot, unfortunately, without spoiling the entire thing. But like the art, like I can't say much, but the art in it is gorgeous. The way that they're tying in like time loss, when it comes to like going to the next world, beautiful. It's a very seamless transition between things, and it keeps you being like, are we gonna understand in this issue, or are we gonna have to keep reading it? I feel like that's gonna be perfect, especially if you like being like not on the edge of your seat. But I don't like waiting for like a month in order to remember what's happening for that next issue because I have severe ADHD. So pick it up if you like that kind of concept and if you are willing to wait that month. I feel like it's honestly something that you would enjoy.
Yeah, it kind of sounds like I think I would enjoy it because I know
Yeah.
the creative team. Because I want to say there's a not Stranger Things, Something's Killing Children kind of connection there. Not literally like storyline wise. It's just the creative team. Someone worked on that book as well.
Oh yeah. Nick Robles's art, I feel like it's gorgeous. I have not read something that he has worked on art-wise that I have disliked.
I was gonna say because I'm starting to see more and more like publishers just doing more OGNs as opposed to just one like issue, like a traditional release for comics.
Oh yeah.
I am kind of curious. It's like if how you said it's like, hey, this is a pretty complicated issue to follow, and it would be nice to have to try to remember like what's happened, what happened for the next issue.
Yeah.
So it's like if you just got in one little book, maybe it would flow better.
Yeah.
Let's see. Gonna do Deadpool #1. Wow. I was genuinely surprised I was able to read it because I thought that'd be the first thing that Liam would grab. So
I didn't know it was coming out this week until I flipped through the box and I watched my video of what's coming out for this week as I was reading, and I was like, "There's a new Deadpool," and I didn't know. So
any comic that has a "It's Always Sunny" reference in it, it's a 10 out of 10 for me.
Yeah.
Like that's all it takes. It's like it can be a book featuring a character who I just despise. If there's a "It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia" reference in it, it's like, oh, 10 out of 10. I don't care. It's great. It was a genuinely fun issue. I'm not like a super like hardcore Deadpool fan. Like I like the character well enough, but I'm not like
me
like foaming at the mouth and like, oh. So I was just excited. I was curious just to check it out, and it really is such a fun issue. There's a lot of course, fourth wall breaking. It's very humorous. It's very, very violent.
You can't go wrong with a Deadpool comic. I mean,
so I will because I got a feeling it's gonna happen. If your kids are into Deadpool, if they're teenagers, yes, that's fine. But if they're younger than that, I would flip through it as a parent just to make sure that you're okay with them reading this because it is a very, very bloody comic.
Yes.
I think. Want to say so parental advisory, like it's not rated mature, but it's still like whoa,
like sometimes it can be a bit intense,
but it's just like, oh, this is full-blown alien right now. But it's there are new characters in this. There is possibly a new love interest who's and I already like just like, oh, I need them together. But it's just poor Wade. He is just in over his head, and you don't you feel terrible for him, but you're just laughing because of just
like
how
this
bad.
Sucks, but
right, it's like of just how it just spirals. Like, oh, it can't get any worse. You flip the next page, like, oh, that okay.
Like, no, it is getting worse.
Yeah, literally, it's getting worse. But it's if you're a Deadpool fan, of course, please check it out. If you're new to the character and you've always wanted to get into Deadpool, this is a good issue to start with. I'm very curious about what happens in the following issues because it's just like, man, this sucks. Like for him, like not the time the book sucks, but this book is it's
like
so
this
much
is
fun.
a lot,
right?
Yeah.
And see, I just keep thinking of certain lines that happen in this book, and it's just like, oh, that was really good. It's great. I can definitely see a lot of comic book reviewers and retailers and shops having this as their pick of the week because it's just so fun.
I mean, you can never really go wrong with Deadpool. Like how ridiculous it gets throughout the series.
Right. Yeah. And it's funny and zany without being obnoxious, which I feel like the people write Deadpool, they
make it too intense.
Well, I'm not sure if intense is right. It's just they just make him too I'm Deadpool, I'm super wacky. It's they don't find the
too
balance.
Zany.
Right.
You can't it's either too zany or it's too dark. There's never an in between. Tying it all back to once. Anyways, But I feel like Deadpool could be a decent character if you don't make him too over the top. Which is like I got my dad into understanding like why I love Deadpool so much. Because he's like, oh, it's just he just breaks the fourth wall. I'm like, no, there's so much more. Like his girlfriend died, but didn't technically die, and then he fell in love with death. It was a whole thing. And my dad's like, huh? And I'm like, it's a lot. But that's good that it's a first reader friendly Deadpool. I feel like you don't get that a lot anymore with the Deadpool series, which is a shame.
Right, it's great because like it's very new reader friendly. It's also like if you're familiar with them, you know his whole back. So it definitely would recommend this this book this week. It's really great.
Then the ones. So I'm gonna mention my entire theme this week apparently has been just you're the chosen one and there's gonna be an apocalypse. That was this. This was it. It was really good. It was a really good like team up kind of thing. And then at the end it's just like, oh, I guess we should have listened to you. It's fine. It's super quirky. It's really funny. It's a really great take on the world is ending and we need to team up and do something. And then them acting like regular people of just like, whoa, wait, we'll see what happens. And then they see what happens and they're like, oh, well then, I guess. And the most perfect like human way. It's just really like the problem is with a lot of these is that if I say too much, it'll spoil the entire plot. Which it's kind of trash when it comes to reading some of the stuff that I read.
Because the premise of it is like, because this is what maybe like want to read it because reading it in previews like, oh, this is so fun. It's like each person they're the one.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, we gotta.
And there is no really the one. Right. Acknowledge that it's like you're all people that has something special about you.
Right, which is like, oh, this is fun. Like, this is a fun premise.
I feel like, honestly, you and Jenna would fall in love with this. I feel like, honestly, everybody on staff would love this concept. We're all on the board of just like, if it's weird, we'll grab it. If it's perfect, if it's like perfectly weird, if it's like perfectly human, it's fantastic. And honestly, like, there's heavy references to Buffy the Vampire Slayer, like the,
I can guess which one, probably the one pink hair.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I like, just got the vibe.
Her first, it's just a crazy assumption. Like, literally, her first introduction is her and her girlfriend in a dark alley killing a demon. That's, like, their entire introduction. And, I do enjoy the fact that, like, they're normalizing lesbian couples in comics instead of like making it very sexualized, which isn't it's nice. I say as I'm not a lesbian. But like it's I guess I don't know how to word it, like very refreshing to read like the normalcy and also reading the normalcy of the partner thinks this is insane and really doesn't want to do this because why? And the girlfriend who's like heavily involved in all of this is just like, yes, please.
These were other new books here. You should totally look at
like,
them. But we got more in, so put them on there. They're cute and I love them. These were Jenna's reads and I love them.
You know, Jenna, you could just be on the show.
I just got here, so no, I couldn't.
That seems like a you problem.
He's not wrong.
We can blame Jay for this one.
Ooh, I like doing that. Okay.
But it's absolutely super quirky. Like the like lesbian couples a very small premise, but they're also like the chosen ones, and have very much the same energy and aspects as the couple in I Hate This Place. Very, very similar. Just like, I don't want to be here, neither do I, but we're kind of stuck and we can't leave until something gets sorted. And then nothing does get sorted.
That sounds rude.
What?
We can't leave until it's sorted. It's not going to get sorted.
It's never going to get sorted. That's what I appreciate, though.
So with the other characters, so that one, she's supposed to be like a reference
It's supposed
to like
to
a
be
Buffy,
and then this one is supposed to be like the typical like hero that doesn't want to really like save people, but does it because she needs to, because it's the morally correct thing. He's the recruiter. He's a like retired superhero, and she's just here. She just got recruited. She doesn't even know why she's here. She's like, I'm a person. I have 0 powers.
So does the book follow her? Or is
No,
everybody?
it follows all of them. He was the original chosen one. He was the chosen one when he was a baby.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah. And he gets like harassed in a grocery store, and they're just like, "Hey, weren't you the chosen one?" He was like, "Yeah, I was when I was a baby." And they're like, "So you were the chosen one?" And he's like, "I have 0 memory of saving the world at all because I was a baby."
Go Gaga. What?
Like what? Like they're all the same. That's essentially what happened.
Fucking Goo Gaga. Oh man.
Like he doesn't even know why he was the chosen one. He doesn't even know why he was picked in the first place. He's like, please stop. I was the chosen one once, and I saved the world one time, and now I get harassed in grocery stores. I just want to buy my food and leave. And he's harassed for like 3 pages, and I'm like, I get you. I understand. Right? And he's like, please leave me alone. And the people who are like, can I get an autograph? He's like, please stop. Like, I don't want to be here. Can I please leave? And then he's harassed as he's leaving the store. And then it just cuts to the rest of the plot. And I'm like, perfect. This is beautiful. And this is a fantastic setup.
I'm just picturing, like, as you're reading it, it's just like panel after panel of this poor man just getting harassed. And it's just like 10 out of 10. Like, just this man's getting harassed in a grocery store.
Like 10 out of 10. This is beautiful.
This was poor sad man.
Like this
Exactly.
is terrible. Like, well, like he's
The
guy who's recruiting everybody. Like there ends up being an argument for like an entire page of just like you see 2 sides of just like thought bubbles, and he's just like. And you like just see him breaking down.
All he wanted was some bananas.
Well, no, it's this dude, the blondie. He's a recruiter.
Preppy
Wilson.
And oh my god.
Basically, his name is Wilson, and it's perfect.
Wilson!
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna walk away. I'm sorry.
No, it's fine.
I bring the chaos.
But he's a recruiter of this whole group. And like that entire page, you just hear just like, it's fine, we can wait, it'll be fine, we can wait like 16 years, right? That's when all this is gonna happen. It's always when it happens. And then he's like, well, anyone, for the love of everything holy and unholy in the world, just stop and listen and let's actually do something. And then just hell breaks loose. No pun intended. Oh, I was just reading rice abuse again, my bad. But it's hilarious. I feel like mostly you, but also everybody on staff will find this very funny. And also Jenna, because she showed me Little Demon or something that was on Netflix or like Hulu or something like that. But super funny. Recommend it strongly. And you.
And me.
And
so next up is the Secret Invasion #1. And oh man, so I read Secret Invasion, like the original Secret Invasion, when I was younger, and it was so stress-inducing to young Shanice, because she's all younger Shanice, young Shanice, because it's just like
younger than currently
Shanice. It's just like, what is going on? Like, wait, who's a scroll? Who's real? Who died? Oh no! So it's very stress-inducing.
Is everything a lie?
We're pretty much the same. It's very real. Like, what's going on? And this issue was also also stress-inducing, which surprised me, because like, okay, it's it's Mr. North. He writes funny things. I should be able to laugh a few times. Oh, this is stress-inducing. I am stressed out. Okay,
I am not okay.
Yeah, I am not okay. So
I'm in teacher.
Yes.
That's fine. We're ignoring that.
So it's like it's a scroll. So he's not doing bad because as they tend to do.
Yeah.
So you're reading it. It's like, okay, I know who it is. I got you. And it's like, oh wait, nope, plot twist. There's like, plot twist on top of a plot twist. Maria Hill, I can say it's about her. She's a very smart woman. She knows she has she has backups to her backups, plans for her plans. Like she is, I'm ready to do this. Let's go.
To her
Yeah.
plans.
And it's just it's gonna be a fun series to read. Just just figuring out who's legit, who's a scroll, what happened to the people who got taken over by scrolls, like what's going on. And it's when I first picked up the issue, I'm like, okay, this will be maybe like kind of like it's a really funny book, kind of just considering who the writer is. But again, that means nothing because Zdarsky, he's writing Daredevil and Batman, so that means nothing. So
do you think it'll be good for people who are wanting to understand like the movie that's going to be coming out?
The show, yeah. Oh yeah, for sure. Like this is definitely going because considering that the theory that they're using, it's definitely going to be like, oh, okay, yeah, sure. I really like the show. I need to read Secret Invasion, which of course read the original as well.
Yeah.
But this is, if you want
a good reintroduction,
right? Like a good reintroduction. Just basically, word is scroll, so there you go, you can read it. It's like Deadpool and like Tiger Division. It's just a genuinely fun book, and it's again like I'm in the back, I'm reading, and I'm just like, what? Like the last 3 pages, because like it's so just like, oh my god, because like what is going on? Who is that? I don't. If you're able to, like, don't read any spoilers in regards to this issue. Just go into it completely blind, and you will have a blast. It's a fun little mystery action thriller book for fall and winter. So definitely do recommend this one. It's so great.
I need to pick that up because I know nothing about the Secret Invasion or any of that entire plot line.
Although now looking at the cover, I wonder if that was a hint about something. Okay, see, it's layers to this. Yeah,
layers.
There's just layers to this. Oh my god,
it's a croissant of a story. It's fine.
It's a perfect. It's a lasagna.
It's a pie crust. It's just layers on layers on layers. It's a tiered cake. Oh my, I need sweets. Anyways, so Nature's Labyrinth. No good transition there. So if you read Maze Runner, not watch the movie, read it, because it makes more sense if you read the book than watching the movie. I read the books, that's why I'm saying this. It absolutely gives homage to like that kind of thing, not like the typical like Minotaur and a labyrinth kind of thing, like the traditional labyrinth. Like legitimately, it gives hints to Maze Runner, in that like genre, I guess. And the main character that you follow, like keeps trying to come up with a backstory, and I'm like, there's something off here. And they give pronouns too to all the characters, which is very interesting. I wish that is utilized more, because like you can call a character he when in reality she's it's a girl, or identify as a girl or anything like that nature, and it's very like it's got like hints of Hunger Games in there, and like the ending absolutely makes me feel like I'm about to read The Most Dangerous Game, which if you've never read that book, if you never read that book in high school, absolutely read it. It is amazing. Layered, intricate, definitely flaky.
Like a
croissant. But no, like if you fell in love with like all of those kinds of stories when you're growing up, or if you just enjoy those stories in general, please, for everything, pick this book up. I am very excited to see where this story is going to go. I don't know if they're going to continue with like the very similar like plot line to what Maze Runner was, which that went harder than I expected. But if you liked all those aspects of all those like young adult novels that were definitely not that young adults should not have read if they were not emotionally prepared, really, for real, pick this up. It is beautiful and I love it, and the art in it is gorgeous, and the like character direction I feel like is going to go really well, because there is a massive like opening up everything with the main character on the very last panel, and I can't say anything, but it was very much like, oh, this makes a little teeny bit more sense, but also why? In the best of ways. Like I cannot complain any. Like this was the first book that I read today, and it stuck with me hard. I loved it. I thought it was good. Not in comparison to the Kevin Smith book, but it's so good.
So would you say, so it's kind of like a spiritual successor to Hunger Games, Maze Runner, like all of the big, basically all the big young adult
Like the
franchises. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's fun.
Oh yeah.
So I get so
there's a light homage to the Most Dangerous Game, though. Very light homages.
So have you ever read Battle Royale?
No, but I have heard of it.
So I guess. So the main characters, are they teenagers, young adults?
They're adults generally. They're probably like in their mid to late 20s. They give their ages, but I didn't heavily focus on it. Mostly because I was like, oh, I know exactly where this is gonna go. Like age wise at least. But it's I can't really say anything, but they are like, it's absolutely aimed at the people who did grow up reading those in middle school and high school. Because it has heavy feels, like the monitoring, that all that kind of stuff. Like that's how it feels. But they're generally around at least our age range for the most part. So
I guess is it a violent book or
not in the beginning? There is a lot of blood. That is something I will warn. Like referencing back to Hunger Games, I guess like the tracker kind of things. There's like a harness that they have to wear that very much like gives not like I guess like the same energy as trackers, which if you don't know what those are, and if you've never read Hunger Games, that's a shame. It's a great book. Okay, I was also that person. Can I help you? No, Jenna. Sorry, she took a picture. Like the if you try to leave, there will be consequences kind of thing. Like it's kind of brutal, and I'm like, oh, I guess they're trapped on this island until they have to leave.
So like in Battle Royale, they're also on an island, and they also have these explosive collars. And you try to mess with it, or if you try to leave,
That's essentially what happens.
Kaploop.
Kaploop. Or you get shot by snipers in Most Dangerous Game.
Why does that track more than the Kaploop?
Kaploop.
Yeah, it's the Most Dangerous Game is a beautiful short story. That's why.
I was going to say you're trapped in this room until the end of this, but now I'm just like, no, there's no Kabloom or snipers. No, nay.
No.
Just me.
The fact that you're not making eye contact with us as you're saying that, there's no trackers.
There's no
You're
trackers,
safe for now.
Snipers.
All right. I will go with Kidchella next. I think I saw that flash on the screen before, so I'm gonna go with Kidchella. The moment this book was announced, the moment I read the premise for it, I was like, you know what? I am all in, because I am someone who is still very, very salty that I've never been to Coachella. So I'm still just a little upset. It's look.
I didn't say anything.
I sensed
there was a face. You made a face.
I
see those wonderful eyebrows. So, yeah, but okay, so Coachella. I'm sorry.
Oh my god.
It's about a group of friends. They go out to this music festival in Southern California. I wonder which festival it is. It's
all Burning Man.
And by the title called Killchella, obviously there's gonna be some murder in this. But it sucks. I had no idea, right? This book, again, like the other two Scout books that I reviewed today, they go in ways that you truly do not expect. Because by the cover, I'm thinking, oh, it's gonna be Battle Royale at Coachella. It is not. It is something else completely different.
It's a Burning Man.
Is it Zombieland?
So I'm so I really
I
like
won.
this. I really like this book, and as a wrestling fan, I appreciate the wrestling references that were in this book. So it's like, oh, I know this person. Again, like
I actually have news about this book.
I still have 2 books.
The ash can, just real quick, the ash can actually came out like almost like 6 or 7 months ago, but they kept getting delayed, and so that's #1 finally out.
That's what I.
That's all.
What
That's
I
all.
Anyways.
yeah. So again, like this is a book that it's had a lot of hype already, and it's like, is it coming out now? It's like, oh, it got pushed back. Okay, fine, whatever. But so I understand with everything going on in the world right now. this book, it is crazy. I kind of want to go home and make a playlist on Spotify to this comic, and I'm hoping that the creative team actually made one because this would be so fun to tie in with this book. You okay?
I just need that Spotify list like now.
Okay. We can all make a Spotify playlist.
I am pretty good at making mixed playlists. If I'm being honest, I was the person that made essentially mixtapes in high school for my boyfriends. So
yeah, this book.
I still make mixed CDs. Thank you.
So this book, yeah, it is bonkers, and it's just like, and you do feel this level of dread, like something is going to go horribly wrong. And it's like the opening pages, it really is chilling. Like I know, like I'm laughing at this whole review, but it actually has some like really unsettling moments. Like, oh my god. And there's something always just anything that takes place out in the desert, it's always just terrified me. Like it's just so isolated and it's just spooky. And I love that as a setting for this book, and the fact that it's at I wonder what music festival. It's even scarier. And
that's a music festival.
And I truly would love for this to be like a what's that film company? A A24 horror film or series. This would be so fun. So I love it. If you're into horror and thrillers and you like seeing hipsters, horrible things happen to hipsters, please read this book.
It's fantastic. Anyways, moving on to Hell to Pay. So I swear I read it as an ash can. I don't remember if I did or not. I remember reading this exact same book unless I'm having a premonition. But it's so good. It is beautiful. I cannot recommend it highly. Like there's a whole like selling your soul to the devil kind of thing that's like tied into this, and like you can't have kids. Like there's a whole thing that is going on here, and I'm very like everything, dude. I don't know. Like it's a mixed bag of stuff. If I did not read an ash can, which I'm pretty sure I did, but this is beautifully done and it is gorgeous artwork. And I can't recommend it more than a contract killer-esque story. That is all I'll say because I can't say much more, and also
Right, gonna
Speed run.
the speed run for the last two. Batman and the Joker, the deadly duo. Okay, so Batman and the Joker, going by the title, obviously, they team up. Batman is obviously not happy about this. Joker is happy about it because it's the Joker. And the book, I really liked it. The art's great. Read the story. It's like, when I first read it, I was like, okay, I'm not sure how this is going to work. But it's like, oh, this is how it's going to work. So it's, poor Batman, poor Bruce. He is just not having, like, the best time in this book. And you just feel so bad for him because he's like, this sucks. Like, the Joker's like,
but I got that here.
yeah, because Joker like comes to him because he's like, hey, so something's not right, and I need to figure something out. And it's like when the Joker of all people is like, hey, we have to team up, and the same person's like, no, absolutely not, you psychopath. But you're not gonna say that because it's a Joker. But Batman is like, it sucks. So, and the main antagonist, who we don't know yet, I don't think it's important to say that, but his little minions or whatever is horrifying. They are actually scarier than the freaking Joker, which is really saying something. And it's just like,
That's how it's been lately.
Is it me? Am I the minion?
Yes.
I'm the bad guy.
No, you gave me food. You're never the bad guy. So you're just like, you're just like, oh boy, how are they gonna get out of this one? But yeah, I like that a lot.
Okay, so quick stops. It's a Kevin Smith book. If you guys didn't know, Kevin Smith is the reason why I read comics, blah blah blah. I've told the story multiple times. I watched Comic Book Men religiously when I was a kid. So it was bad. But if you don't know the entire lore about Jay and Silent Bob, this tells you all the lore, including Blunt Man and Chronic, which was a comic that he made back in like the early 2000s or 90s. And I'm sorry.
I was gonna say, when you said watching Comic Book Men when you're a kid, you're gonna make everyone in this room like, what?
I'm sorry, I haven't read the comic. I need to, and it's really hard to find.
Hey, Shanice, did you get to meet Mike Zabsik at Retailer Summit?
I did not.
How dare you, Shanice?
How
dare you?
It was a lot. Okay, it was overwhelming. Oh, see, now you made Jingle.
I found out about Blunt Man and Chronic like after I started working here, I think, or probably like just after I started like shopping here.
I got 2 minutes.
But it's beautiful. If you don't know any of the lore, if you don't know any of the timeline of Jay and Silent Bob, pick it up, please. It ties back into the first movie. It does. It does.
Rude.
It does. Not Clerks, but the first Jay and Silent Bob.
Still rude.
How dare you? Calling me rude.
It's a book.
It's a good book. Pick it up if you like Kevin Smith stuff. Anyways.
Also, check out these books.
Dinosaur books.
Yeah, Jenna Doris.
You gave them to us 20 minutes ago with zero context to what the book is.
The reading is the dinosaur trying to do things.
Okay.
Tiny arms, big heart.
That's why I mean you're rude. Then on that.
I'm sorry.
He hangs out on the experience all the time.
I'm sorry. I love Ming. I'm sorry. Tell him that I love Kevin.
I was a child when I first saw you, sir.
Jesus. Stop making me feel older.
I was in middle school when Comic Book Men came out.
Dear Lord, end this, please.
We were in middle school when what, Jay and Silent Bob came out, or elementary school? I was in elementary school. What?
I forgot I skipped grades. Sorry.
What? Okay. So, and on that note.
On that note, I'm sorry.
This
is trash.
We've all been personally attacked today. Please don't hate us.
That's my entire job.
So you want to practice?
I have no way to wrap this show.
Okay, thanks. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.